Alright, so here we go. As we begin, you can see we're trying to jockey for the hand position. I'm trying to have my grips on top of Brian's. He's doing a good job of countering my gripping and keeping me honest. As you can see, I've got my elbows in as best that I can. Got a little bit tie-up position. Just overall, just kind of trying to work and see, because I'm not too sure what he wants to do. So I'm just trying to get him to commit, get frustrated and get him to commit so that I can start building my game plan from there. He's trying to do a good arm drag position there, but he didn't quite commit to it, so I ended up countering with a 2-on-1. He decided to pull guard instead and try to kind of lift me up and over, but I went low and wide to counter the motion. He's doing a good job of trying to work into his half guard knee shield variations. But I'm doing a good job being aware of what his intentions are. So I'm playing a lot of hip movement, rolling my hip down, turning it down, staying low, staying wide, not really committing too much to him from the top, making him work. I can see right there when he recovered the guard, it was because he wanted to sweep me, but I was just too low, too wide, and so I forced him to be content with the close guard. He's trying to work good grips, trying to get into like an omoplata variation. But I'm just stalling pretty much right now. I'm just trying to see how he would move, and I made the mistake of bringing my head below my hips, and he capitalized by going for a triangle attempt. But as soon as he put his leg up over my neck, I tried my best to try to pin it back down to the ground and just kind of be stubborn that way, and just trying to get a good airflow going into my lungs and playing very strong with my arm that's inside his guard. He's doing a good job. He's trying to turn over, but I'm keeping my base. I'm moving with my hips. At this point, I really can't get out, but all I want to do is just burn out his grips of the legs. Hopefully, get him to cramp. Uh, he could be more active in trying to pull my head down, trying to catch the correct angle, like he's trying to do right now. He's trying to go for a couple of wrist lock, I believe he tried at one point. Tried to do like a Mora. He's just getting a little frustrated, and so I'm doing my job there. And he needs to be more active with his hips, kind of bump up and down, so that he can get me back into position. He tried to go for omoplata there, but I was already expecting that, and I just kind of forced him to uh, abandon it. And I'm trying to stay heavy on that knee, on the bottom of his, so that I can pass um, without passing myself. I want him to just experience the pressure and the lack of space that he has so that he can move, which is going to give me my opening. I'm focusing on getting an underhook and spreading out his elbow and trying to separate his upper body from his lower body, and kind of doing a little bit of body surfing with my hips on top of his hips and his shins. He does a really good job of just kind of putting me back into his half guard variations, and uh, I'm just trying to stay low, stay wide, kind of be stubborn a little bit, just trying to make him work more than what he would like, so I can get him tired and just kind of start to capitalize on his mistakes and capitalize on his frustration. There, I do a nice little, you know, back step passing. So I've got him now inside control. I'm trying to be very conscious of my weight. I don't want to put too much, but I don't want to put enough in it. So just kind of in the middle. Every single time he tries to roll me, I definitely put weight on him to counterbalance the movement. Uh, I've, I'm trying to turn my hip in, trying to turn it down, and I think it was a choke. Uh, he just he got too caught up with my hips that his hands started fighting my hips, tried to get himself back into some sort of guard that he forgot to defend his own throat. Or I think actually the round ended. I didn't get him with a choke. The round ended. Just kind of waiting and repairing, rematching everybody up. Something that I do a lot when you guys come and train at Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Stillwater. I pick your partners, and I try to pick. I try to have everybody go with everybody as much as they can. Not just you stick with one or two people that you feel comfortable, beating up on. I try to challenge everybody to spread out and try to feel as many body and different energies as they can while they're rolling. So as you can see right there in the back, got a couple guys, bigger guys, athletes, college athletes going at it, football players and whatnot. Right there in the green, you see Victor. He's doing a good job trying to pass. He's just being too far away. He's trying to commit, but he's trying to be. He's trying to commit to the pass, but his hips are not turning all the way, and he does a good job of passing as it is, but definitely could be much tighter. Especially him being smaller, it would greatly help him a lot against some of the bigger guys. He's doing a good job keeping the foot back, kind of keeping the other guy honest. He's trying to body surf right there with his hip on top of that hook. He should have committed first to a big back step, but stayed balanced. So instead, he just kind of got rolled over to the side, and it happens from time to time. Kyler's doing a good job of just being on top of him and being aware that he's not too heavy on him, but he's definitely not loose on him. He's keeping him very snug, which sometimes is worse than just having someone put their whole weight on top of you. So Victor's just kind of framing against him, just kind of waiting, doing a good job of moving with the pressure. See, we've got Chris in the back going after Brian. I'm not sure where he got him with. Looks like some sort of loop choke. Or maybe an arm bar. The other way, that was pretty good. There you go, Brian. Was it Brian? No, that was Keelan. Very good job. Oh, there we go. It looks like Victor reverse position while I was looking at the back behind him, and he's back in kind of passing, side control variation. Looks like Kyler got to turtle. Victor's going for his hooks. A little bit too high there, but he's doing a good job of just staying balanced. Since Kyler is a little bit bigger than him, it's hard for Victor to just pull him back on top of him. So he needs to just work on turning him over to the side, just quick little tilts. Something that he can use his full body weight behind and move someone bigger than him. Doing a good job, put him on the side. I'm not quite sure what he's doing there, but looks like he's committed to it, which is always good. See Melissa right there in the front, doing a good job of tying the belt. Always professional. Got T-Mike in the back, doing his thing, staying super snug. He's a big cuddle bug. Get that side control going. Just kind of try to set up a Kimura. The way how he's moving, the way how he's turning and bringing his leg up. Looks like Kyler reverse position on Victor this time, and Victor is working from the bottom, some sort of butterfly. So we just got loop choke. Yep, I was like got the loop choke. Kyler got a little bit too comfortable being the big guy trying to pass, and so pay the price. Got too busy putting his hands and passing and forgot about the potential and always dangerous loop chokes and guillotine chokes. Listen, I would get started. She quickly moves me over to side control. Trying to do a good job myself, trying to bring my knee in and my underhook, trying to kind of scoot back underneath her. Trying to roll myself up so that way I can maneuver a lot better when she decides to move. She's trying to chase me there a little bit. Okay, she's down, pulls me in. She's trying to go for some sort of bow and arrow variations. I'm just going to switch it over. Yep, bow and arrow. And I'm doing a good job. Barely managed to escape my head out, but she had to follow up. She's doing a good job controlling my head with her leg. And now it's just a matter of her finishing the armbar like she did. Just working on the wrist, making sure that's straight, and securing the angle for it. It doesn't seem like much, but the way how she had me controlled, I could not move. I could not roll away without putting my own shoulder and elbow in jeopardy of injury, severe injury. They change partners in the back. Melissa and I keep going. She's working the good controls. I'm trying to pass. She's doing a good job of securing my grips, paying attention to them. She's got some sort of the spider guard going on, spider action. She's got her leg back in. She's trying to go for her X guard, and which she's very good at, very powerful. Okay. Got herself to disengage back so that she can recommit, which is something that's important, and it's a practice that a lot of the beginners don't do. They're always trying to engage, and never resetting themselves back so that they can look at it from a different point of view. She's doing a good job of hip escaping back and preventing me from chasing the control of the back. Just coming back up, do a little technical stand up. There you go. We reset back towards the center of the mat, safety reasons. And actually, I was using it right now as a tactic. I was wanting her to get comfortable, scooting back forward, so that way I could try to get control of her ankles and pass. Right there, I'm trying to be heavy, trying to pass over and under variations, but she's doing a good job of controlling my hand, my grips. She's doing a great job of moving her hips and her shoulders, trying to get back into a butterfly position, keeping me honest. Just making sure that I work for everything that I earn. Trying to pass. I'm trying to use my weight, trying to use my size there for a second, and it worked, but I gave her just too much space, and she managed to turn over to turtle, and she's trying to go for a single leg variation there, or try to get to the back, pop her head out. But I've got a Kimura grip, and just working for her, powering through. She comes back up, single leg. She gets it. Now it's my turn to defend. I'm trying to get to her grips. She's got my little butterfly hooks in there. She's doing a good job of controlling her knees. Good base. I'm just kind of playing around a little bit with my legs, a little different feel for her. This is a nice little control that I always like to do on big people, but right now I'm the bigger of the two, so it's kind of hard to pull off. She's doing really good, staying snug, hip to hip. I'm trying to roll, and she just kind of follows me through and kind of secures side control there for a second. Oh. North-south choke, always sneaky. And even watching back on the video, it's surprised. I'm surprised that she. I'm not surprised that she got the finish. I was just surprised. Period. I was not expecting that choke. Uh, right there and then. She really had me believe that she was gonna fight tooth and nail to secure her position. Which is pretty good. Go back in. She's got some sort of butterfly. Trying to pass her knees. I'm trying to go to mount. Trying to force my way back to mount. Trying to work my base. Trying to ride over, but she captured my momentum and she took over. Trying to stiff arm her back just a little bit, keep her honest. So trying to re-engage and reset my hips and my base. Got my legs back in, up. She did get a good reaction. As soon as I put my butterfly in from that side position, she went straight to the mount. Caused me to hip escape more and try to push, and she floated over into a knee on belly variation and allowed me to try to go for a single leg, and she anticipated that with great timing, and she had me in a front headlock, stuck in the turtle position, and now I'm being forced to go back on my back and re-attack. Doing a good job there. There it is. Okay. She's getting it. She's got to come in just a little bit more. I think my foot got stuck on her gi there. That's why she wasn't able to complete that pass. But regardless, she does a great job of controlling my legs, controlling my feet. So it's a good round, active round. Let's see who's next. Who do I have? Chris. So there, Victor with a nice patches, nice looking gi. Team took all the way. Chris a little nervous as always, but it's okay. It goes away. I like this facing Chris's journey. He's very adamant of being comfortable on his feet and trying to work for takedowns. So it's always good. It's always fun. He's got a really good sprawl, very fast, but working on his entries now to the attack, so that's always great. Kind of moving around. That's a good little entry, good little snatch there for a single leg. Trying to work my defense, work my balance first and foremost, just kind of moving along. I decided to go ahead and concede just because if I wasn't, he was going to get a much more dominant head start on the scramble, and I just didn't want him to have that luxury. Did a good job, tried to backstep there, but he forgot to check my knee for a sec, but it's no big deal. Trying to float. He's trying to work his way up into, he should try to work his way up into mount from there, and which he did, what he finally did there, and he just got a little bit too excited and left his other knee down for me to capture into half guard variations and butterfly positions, and I'm trying to work X guard here and trying to do the splits there for a minute, but it's kind of hard to sweep him from this position because he's got a very good splits. He's got a good sense of balance, but he was kind enough to allow me to sweep him back. And now as soon as we reverse position, I'm on top trying to pass. I'm trying to control his legs, his feet. Not worried too much about his control that he had on my collar, and I actually allowed him to have it because I was looking to set up this particular finish here, this guillotine, and he was doing a good job with defending until he decided to tripod up that high, and he allowed me to tuck in his head further down with my elbow. So he realized that mistake, which it always sucks when you're like, oh man, I should know better. But we all get caught in the moment and part of the experience. Restarting again. I can tell he's looking to shoot in again fast. Still he's trying to set up. There he goes again. That was really good on his part. If I remember correctly, in the moment, it was kind of caught me by surprise by going into that second takedown. I wasn't really expecting him to commit that far with it. So good for him. And there you go. He's doing a good job, just kind of circling. I'm trying to kind of stall him out with movement. Trying to bring my knee in, and I got him to commit too much on that pass, and allowed me to roll him over. So thank you, Chris. With Chris, I'm playing a more tight, snug, heavy positioning. I'm trying to get him to expose a lot of his throat, his neck. Just like right there, I've got him in a gi choke from behind. A little bit bow and arrow action going on. Got control of the back of his knee, that way he doesn't turn into me so easily. And I finally let it go so that I can put the finishing pressure. But even then, it takes a while, because Chris is just a tough guy. And I'm trying to readjust there for a second, trying to get my blade a little bit deeper on the soft portion of the throat, on the soft skin. He's doing a good job defending still, which is always props. Go back to controlling that leg. I felt that he was reestablishing his base too good, so I decided to offset it. I come up to my knees and had to change my angle to be able to finish. So that's good on Chris. That's good defense. He tried to stick it out as much as I could. He did his job. My fingers and my hands were just burning after that. So if you can't win, you make your opponent pay a steep price for victory, as Master Carlson Gracie once said. Try to go in for a nice little single leg just so that I could pull guard. So he reacted just how I wanted him to. I go back into the next guard, and is it time? I think it's time. Yeah. But that was pretty good. Good on Chris. That was awesome. He's come a long way. Now we see Victor trying to get a piece on somebody, thinking, pondering. Is he gonna play fancy tonight, or he's just gonna keep it basic? Put him with Kyler again. So now we started down on the ground. So that's a good job. Trying to put her knees, but she got a little too confident there. I tried to pull her in, but man, she just did a great job of really feeling that little opening that I left, and she managed to pass. So she forced me to fight to get to this half guard, and she's doing a great job of just kind of being heavy and taking over the space and just taking her time. She's not in a rush. I'm trying to work, trying to get back in, trying to kind of arm drag her a little bit, but man, she's doing a good job of keeping her elbows close to her body, which makes my job a lot harder. Trying to go for a sweep here, kind of omoplata variation, and she turns it, she gives it to me, trying to go, but oh, she's getting over, and she does a great job right there. She did a great job putting a lot of weight, a lot of pressure on top of me, not allowing me to follow through and sit up into that omoplata or move my hips and my upper body how I needed to. So she's back now. She's back with vengeance, and she's extremely heavy, very tight, putting her hip down. As you can see, her right hip was turned down. It's super heavy. Now she's crowded my upper body, my shoulders, over my head. She's got me very, very tight, very snug. I can bridge, but the danger would be I get caught in another north side position, north side choke, or I will wear myself out because she's got such a good control of my upper body that I cannot turn all the way through completely. So I'm trying to not work, just a little bit of momentum. I'm using from the bottom, I am distributing my weight up on towards her, trying to get her to react instead of the other way around. And it's kind of worked for a little bit, and so I'm doing a lot of quote-unquote stupid white belt mistakes, but I'm doing them on purpose so that I can get her to react, and hopefully she can take my bait. It kind of started working there for a second, and she allowed me to kind of get a little bit to my side, and now she's fighting back again, and man, that was pretty slick. That was fast. I wasn't expecting her to go side control and then go right back into the mount. So that was really good. Just got that underhook and trying to pass that knee. Just gotta rush it, rush it. I'm trying to trying to use my body, trying to use my weight. Roll through. I finally got it. She got a little bit too wide with her elbows. Extended her body too much, so allowed me to get to her back. But right now she's doing a great job of keeping her knees in, putting back pressure to me. She's trying to find her escape. I'm trying to set up some sort of choke. But even then, she's doing a great job of defending the grips with proper weight distribution on the grips, putting a lot of tension on my grips, and she's turning her shoulders, turning her body. I'm trying to go for it. She's kind of trying to defend, trying to stop her hip from stepping over my body. And she got lucky. Time ran out. Or did it? Nope. Oh, okay. Alright, cool. I guess she did tap. Never mind. I got lucky. Oh, there, Victor and Kyler doing a good job moving around. Bat Dad in the background, laying the smackdown on little Hulk. There we go. She's trying to pass. I do a good job of baiting her, trying to get to a headlock, but she knew what was happening. She knew what was going on. Quick little fixaroo on the uniform. It's always a must from time to time. Otherwise, it'll slip down, and depending on your teammate, depending on your training partner, they might use it against you. They might tie your legs together, and now you're kind of SOL with halfway down your legs, depends, and tied up. So that's not cool. Alright, so now just waiting on, I believe it's Kyler. He's next on the list. See what he's got going on. Always using the excuse of trying to blow his nose so he can get a catch a little breather. I'm on to you, Kyler. So he decided to start on the bottom, which is somewhat unusual for him. He always likes to stand on his feet, so I know he's got something going on, scheming. Again, he was as we started, he was a little bit too light. He wasn't really, yeah, okay, we're just gonna play along. But he had a butterfly hooks in on me, so I made sure that I had a good base, my knees slightly in, so I could try to float on his legs with my hips. I had a little bit of control on his head just to kind of get him to do a crunch in, just give him a little bit of an agony before we get started. He's doing a good job defending his legs. I'm trying to pass, and he's trying to defend my grips and my advancements. But let's see here. He knows that if he hip escapes, he's going to give me the pass. But if he doesn't hip escape, it's just a matter of time before I get my pass. But he does a great job of just readjusting on the movement, and he ends up catching me with a nice butterfly sweep. And he's trying to go into an armbar, and I used that to reverse him, and now we're back to square one. He tried to sweep me again with his little butterfly sweep, but kind of like a Terere style butterfly where he's more on his back, not so much sitting up. So it usually works if you're not conscious of it, or you haven't seen it in a while. And right now he's trying to go high guard. What he's trying to do here? Omoplata. Switches from omoplata. He's defending my hip. That's good on him. There we go. Just kind of failed to come up a little bit too soon, but that's okay. He's going for the side control. I'm just waiting for a second. He's trying to go. Oh, he stepped over. He still has my arm. Pulls it in. At this point, he is extremely heavy on me. He's doing a good job of squeezing his knees together. Put his weight on me. Reach down, controls my head. Slowly but surely, sucking me in, being the boa constrictor that he is. Falls to his side, and he starts to squeeze. And I think he's trying to tell me some sort of joke while I'm trying to fight for my life. So that's always Kyler. I was having a good time. Doing a good job trying to just stall out his grip, trying to be heavy on the bottom leg. And then he decides to take a little bit serious and goes for my arm, goes for my elbow. And he could finish here by kind of bringing his left knee up so that he can give me like an armbar omoplata variation. And then he finally gets the armbar the way he wanted to set it up. So that was good. That was really good control on him. And I think the time went off. Oh yeah, there was a large clip of that last round with Kyler that is missing, so I apologize over that. And as always, we line up. We line up by rank. As I turn around and face them, the most experienced person lines up to my left, or to the farthest right, them facing me. And then we just go down the line like that. So that was pretty cool. So that was fun. Now watching or seeing all these blue belts, a sea of blue belts. That was our goal when we first started, and this is the first step of many. And as always, much love, much respect. Never an easy round with these guys. Always fun. Reason why my jiu-jitsu is personally a lot better, a lot cleaner, sharper. Different bodies, different ways of doing things.